welcome. So as you can see, I have a lot of stuff done since the last episode. I implemented internationalization and a whole bunch of stuff. The video came without audio because I was recording on the AirPods first. You can see that we started with this and we ended up with this. I will give you a quick tour over everything that was done so you can know exactly at which point we are. Let's start. I closed everything so it's easier. If we go here, you will see that I installed React Internationalization Next and Internationalization Next. When it comes to the screen, I did not do anything on the map screen. I did move some things here on the app and on the screens directory. Now we have a settings here, and our settings is subdivided into two components, as you can see. Basically, we just put a stack navigator inside of here. If we go into the layout here, you will see that we have a stack navigator inside of our bottom native tabs navigator. We can have multiple screens on this specific bottom tab. We also applied the header blur effect and the header transparent, so we can have this cool effect with the scroll view. As you can see, looks really nice. And we did some processing for the theme. You can see that the theme has now the ability to change itself with the React Native segmented control. We also added some speed units and distance units processing. This is extremely important for this app because we are going to deal with displaying speed units and distance units in our map components. It saves it also on Expo Key store. I get it from get item sync from speed unit key, and I store it on a useState variable. I created a hook called use unit so I can retrieve them. I did it for distance and for speed unit. Here's our scroll view that allows us to have this cool effect. Also, I made sure that everything is native with the segmented control. Of course, iOS first here. You can see that it already has the glass effect, these segmented controls. Just like the bottom tabs, you can see that the bottom tabs have the same kind of effect. Next, we did internationalization. We had to configure the whole packages for internationalization next and React internationalization. You can see that we have English and Portuguese. I added the directory for this. The index is where we get the language. Right here on the detect, I will do implementation here with you, basically getting the locales from the system. That's extremely important. All right, we did it. We are getting our language from the thing right away. So you can see right now it's changing between languages. This was the implementation I did. You can see that I do the language detector and the init React AIT next. We have some more configuration here, and yeah, that's what we did. The other last thing was just this screen, getting the language from the provider itself and being able to change the language asynchronously. Does not work right away. You need to refresh the app, and that's something that I might look in the future for it to work like state. That's what we did. Let's move on to the video now. Alright, we are back. Now let me tell you what are we going to do on this episode. We have a lot of UI to advance. We have some things from the old app that we need to transition into the new app. I already installed a ton of packages. So you can see here, Core Home bottom sheet with Expo Blur, clipboard, file system, and linear gradient. What we are going to do on this episode is essentially starting the UI on this screen and making it so it becomes more interactive. Let me share the screen here from my mobile phone so you guys can have a look on how the old app is done. There we go, we have the old app in here. As you can see, the old app is not that developed. We have the track mode, the versus mode, we have your profile, vehicles, finding people, G-force viewer, curvature viewer. This is mostly for motorcycles, and the settings. It was on the App Store once. We are looking to make it much greater and much more developed. What I want to do today is I want to start doing the UI to start the free riding and start the lap tracking. We are going to change a little bit of denominations for this. Let's get into that. Okay, so first step, we are going to create a new screen on the tabs And we are going to transition the index map screen to a stack navigator, just like settings screen. So let's get into that. Okay, so we transition a new layout into here. We are using the old layout. I will delete this screen for now. It is not picking up anything, as you can see. Maybe if we call it index, it will pick up. There it is. This is our map screen. Now it has the header up top, as you can see. For this specific screen, we are going to hide the header. Header shown false. Now for the second screen, I will create a screen that resembles the mode selector. So let's get into that. So as you can see, I just called it selector. Now I will go into the screens, map. I will create a new one for the map. Put the map in here and create a new one for selector and create a screen in here. We can say this is a selector screen. There it is. And we are going to selector screen. Perfect. Really nice. There it is. Okay, that is done. Now on here, we need to find a way to navigate to this screen. We are going to go into our map. Let me wrap everything around the view and start drawing just a normal view. Okay, there it is. As you can see, it is available. Let's do a router push. Okay, for some reason type routes are giving us an error. We are going to see later on what we can do about this. As you can see, it navigates, but we don't want this. We want it to be a form sheet. As you can see, the grabber is shown when we do this. Also, we can do the fit to contents. Fit to contents would essentially just make it well encapsulated inside of the sheet. So let's now create a screen for this. I will import some of the other images I have on the other project. There it is. And let's talk with Claude and say, on this screen, using the images from assets / images, create a grid view of several modes, such as free riding, lap mode, versus mode, and track mode. So unfortunately, I had a ton of issues working with the form sheet, so I ended up just implementing a Gorham bottom sheet. Sometimes it's really hard implementing native components directly from SwiftUI. Expo is extremely good at what it does, but if you are wishing for full compatibility, it's not as easy as you would expect. I ended up just going for Gorham bottom sheet, and you will see how it came out. Okay, so I did a little pause and I decided to do some redesignings. This way we just make sure that we are not dealing with native stuff that is not 100% implemented. So it makes it easier for us to be sure that everything is perfect. As you can see, the selector looks pretty good now. It's also detached. I implemented it with Gorham bottom sheet. Now, we were on the create squad screen. Let's move on to that. Okay, so I made the button minimal, so we can have a very cool button like this. I will also make the header blur effect, which is already done, the header blur effect, so that's good. Now let's ask Claude to help us a little bit with our design for the create squad page. Okay, so I wrote a little bit of a prompt here for Claude so he can start creating the design for this page. Let's see how he does for this. Okay, as you can see, we have a base design. Let's already start modifying it so we can do some stuff in here. He made a scroll view, very nice, and we can already do the scroll view without the safe area view. So my objective on this page is to have the location selection, where you click up above and you have a preview container of the location right below on the same container. All right, as you can see, we have everything done. It has cool glass effects, everything already implemented. These bottom tabs, we will have to get rid of them. So let me explain a little bit of what I just did here. scroll wheel handling, so we get a full scroll view here. I added a glass view around the pressables, each one with a glass container. So as you can see, we have glass view and then the pressable inside. For the location one, we did it very basic. You can see that it uses the glass thing right away and the glass container, and then it has all of its handling already done. The selected location will then be applied on the map view once we have it available. For the vehicle, we have just a simple container with glass view and a pressable that will redirect us or open a bottom sheet for us to select our vehicles. For the live stream, it's just a basic one, nothing really done. I will do a container down here that will allow people to see the people that are entering and when they will begin their squad or not. Let me do that and I will be back. Okay, there we have it. We made some adjustments. We removed the small titles and we just included it like this. As you can see, we have the squad members. We have the button to share, the button to add friends. It looks nice. It has the new design features of iOS 26. So that was it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Tomorrow's episode we will be more focused on also getting the API started so we can start interacting with the API for the Create Squad and many other things that we might want to implement. So thank you very much for watching and